Well, we're in Siyurim. Oh, no. We finished. We finished the Sefer Chavetz Chaim with the
Mhm.
Siyurim, and we chose not to do all these chuvos. They're a bit long. But we're
Mhm.
just doing a double dose of Shmiras haLashon now. Okay? A double dose of Shmiras haLashon. We're talking here about gaiva, right? He had this list. He even made a little something. I always forget it, but Simonim, Kol Gehenim. That shouldn't be too hard to remember. And that stands for Kas, Leitonus, Gaiva, Yeush, Hefker, Nirgonus, Oimer Mutter. And these are the 7 things that are the roots for a person speaking Lashon Hara. So we dealt with Kas, we dealt with Leitonus. And now we're dealing with gaiva, and gaiva is is an easy one, right? Because if you feel arrogant, you're going to look down at people. You're going to look down at people. You're going to make fun of them, and speak bad about them. It also helps you build yourself up. So, but let's see. The Chafetz Chaim says, um, in it's Shara Tuna Perek Yudalad Yud Beis Shvat. Chavasim, I could have left the sefer out on my porch at least, and you could have picked it up. Just
Oh,
sitting here. Well, I didn't think of that. Okay.
oh,
The
you have an extra one?
I haven't. I found it in yeshiva and I took it because we didn't need it. I also think I have a soft cover, just Shmiras haLashon.
Mhm.
That's also
Oh,
extra.
no, no.
All right. Vine kasher ispoinen adam is gaido ani yusay but perav mitzvahs. So when a person gives some thought to how empty he is, how poor he is of Torah and mitzvahs. Yeah. Lo yeloi b'malei his goys. By the way, I had this great thought. Okay, it says that there was never enough, like Moshe Rabbeinu who spoke Pe'al Peh, right? Then there's another Chazal, and then the Torah tells us that there was no greater honor than Moshe Rabbeinu, right? Now there's another Chazal that he mentioned too, that the Chafetz Chaim mentioned, a famous Chazal that talks about a baal gaiva that a Baruch Hu says, "Ein ani." We learned it last time. We can't both exist in the world. A Balgaiva and me, there's no place for both of us. Right? So by extension, that would mean that any amount of gaiva a person has in him is like a mechitza, is a distance from Hashem. Because Hashem says, me and a Balgaiva. It doesn't have to, you don't have to be 100% Balgaiva, 50% Balgaiva. So accordingly, you and Akash Baruch Hu can't be in the world together. So it had to go together. That Moshe has this intense relationship with Hakadosh Baruch Hu. It means there's no mechitzas between him. There's nothing blocking his relationship with Hashem. So he would have to be the ultimate honor. Because if he had any gaiva, he really couldn't be so close. Because Hakadosh Baruch Hu says, "I can't be together with a Baal gaiva." So it all fits in together. That it's not just have to be the Moshe is an honor, because he had such a pure anivist. There was no gaiva in him. So therefore, it lended itself to that there's nothing blocking his relationship with Akash Baruch Hu, and he could be so close to him. That's a thought I had yesterday. Okay. So he says when a person takes a good look at himself and sees what he's holding with her in mitzvah, he won't have what to be arrogant about. So this reminds me of a story I had with Moshe Shapiro. I haven't thought about this for a long time. There was a bacher in the yeshiva. The yeshiva that I was a colonel then. We were at Moshe Yeshiva in Mishkan Torah. There was a bacher that was really lacking in total social skills. He was totally. He had a very rough life. Like his parents made him sleep in the car. They would throw him out of his house. He had no normal family home. He had nothing. And he was a misfit. He was a nice boy. He didn't do any bad, but he was a social misfit. And yet, in his mind, he viewed himself as being mamash, like, the best of the best. He didn't view himself as being as a misfit. He, he felt that he was mamish. And I once and like I asked Ramay Shapiro, I said, like, how do we understand this? Like, how could he be a baal gaiva when he has so much going against? Like it's like here the Chavetz Chaim is saying, you take a look at your Torah and your mitzvahs. How can you be a baal gaiva? So okay, I was talking to Ramay about this bacher, and I said to him something like that. How could he be a baal gaiva? And he looked me in the eyes and he says, "How could any of us be a baal gaiva?" But yeah, we all have
The that famous story. Somebody goes to with some rebbe, or rabbi. I don't know. He's like tells him he has a gaiva problem. So he said, just wait here for a minute. The next guy comes, collecting money. He's like, he goes to the guy, and the guy's like, "No, I don't have any money." So the rabbi gives him, he's handling money. Someone comes in with a halachic question, he puts it to him. He's like, "I have no idea." But after a while, it's like, what are you being a guy about?
He was Rav Steinman, the story.
Yeah.
So,
Steinman, I heard a different story. A guy asked him, or something. A rich guy wanted to buy if it was guy, he wanted to buy a real fancy car or something. He's like, guy, but it's like, he's like, how
you know,
do you know Shas? And like he broke it down. Do you even know like a Masechta very well? He's like,
you're
there's
worried
nothing
about
for you.
having
Yeah.
gaiva, right? He wanted to find a car would make him about gaiva. It's just like, what do you have to be gaiva? Okay, so and that's really the truth, if we could be honest with ourselves, so we all know that we have enough faults and lacking that not too much to be about gaiva. And the Chavetz Chaim is saying that when a person is misbeinin is goldo on the yosef, a terrible mitzvah, so b'malis guys, he won't have. This is mamash, So what are you being about gaiva about? Shomu Chazal, you're in the term. The dochos are ma'kona. If you're lacking this, then what do you have? You have nothing. If you have a little, you did learn something. You did do ma'asim tevim. When you make an honest inventory with yourself, Yisvado like Kilatikin a Dainafu Achatzi, Phil Shlish like Gil Fia Chochma, it be a Kashbachu Benashe. Says if you make an honest inventory, take a good look at yourself, so you'll realize you weren't attacking even a half or even a third of what you should have done based on what the Chochma that Hashem gave you. You could have been doing so much more. I go.
Mhm.
Because of Asforim, Hakadoshim was a Moshel Nimras. Chazal write us a tremendous moshel. Kumuduma Sharisi Zeb Sefer Zikru Teres Moshe. Chavetz Chaim says, I think I saw it in the Sefer Zikru Teres Moshe. Legvir Echad, it's a moshel to a rich person. Legvir Sheshach Shnei Anoshim LeMedina Rachayk Likun Sla'avonim Tovos. And he sent two people to go to a distant city, country, to buy precious stones for him. To one he gave 1,000 gold coins to buy the stones. So the Sheni Lanosan Kim Meaz. To the second messenger, he only gave 100. And on the way, they spent all the money. They wasted it. To the And at the end, when they came to this country, so the one who was given 1,000 is left with only 200. He wasted 800. We had Baal HaMeya in the hands of the one who was given 100. Abraham, he has 40 left. And one day, they got into an argument. The Yan Baal HaElef, so the one who has 1,000, had 1,000. He says to the second guy, how could you compare yourself to me? Hello, I tell you, Shoni, you're a poor person. You don't even have a quarter of what I have. So someone responded to the one who had 1,000. How arrogant and foolish are you? But I'm not this guy. On what basis are you being misgone on the other guy? You know the money isn't ours. You're just a messenger to bring merchandise to the one who sent you. And in fact, you're poorer than the second guy, right? Even though you got 1,000 and he got 100, right? Those the numbers, yeah. You're much poorer
Mhm.
than him. Because he only owes the person who sent him $60.
Mhm.
So that he wasted foolishly. But you wasted $800 on divrei hevel. How are you going to excuse that you wasted $800? This guy only has to account for $60. So in fact, you're much poorer than him. You're going to be overcome with embarrassment to clean much more than this poor guy who right now only has $40. But you're going to be much more embarrassed. Says the Sefer. So too, we were all sent by Kadosh Baruch Hu to this world, from the Olam Elyon to this world. Each one to fix whatever, complete his nefesh and to shine it, polish it, based on the wisdom that Kadosh Baruch Hu put into his nefesh. A person shouldn't, what's the word? Goes to well, act arrogantly, but there's a word. By the fact that he's smarter than the other guy. Because the chokhmah is not yours, that's a gift from Hashem. And it was given to you for a purpose. And you should be thinking to yourself, how much time did I lose and did I waste? And I
Mhm.
got such a portion of chokhmah, right? So I can't be arrogant about the guy who's not as smart as I am, because I'm going to have to give such a big cheshbon when I get back there. What happened to all the time I gave you and all the chokhmah I gave you? But love you, kulanu lost his cheshbon. I'll call you mechaya b'ma alsakoi.
Mhm.
Right? He's going to have to give a cheshbon on all the time that he wasted, which is a parallel to all the money that guy had. V'zeh loshen sefer hapardes. Next day. But Maram Korder Viro, the Ramak. Shar HaYecholes Perik Beis. Shalamala Echad Midal Chayes HaKodesh Hu Yufiel Sarah Torah. Above, one of the four, right? We say in davening, this Chayes HaKodesh. We find in Chayes HaKodesh. One of the Chayes, there seems to be four Chayes HaKodesh. One of them's name is Yufiel, who's the Sarah Torah. Ho Maftachos HaChochma B'yodei. And he has all the keys to the Koch. Kasher Neshama Oilam Agas Lamal, when the Neshama comes up, as Asar Deo who Shoyala Binyani Choch Vashlom Dalamazeh. So he gets questioned. It's like a test on what he learned in this world. How much did you work hard? How much did you go after the Torah? Can the fee say, say and based on that, you'll get your reward. If you had the ability to do more and you didn't, so he's pushed underneath this heichal with, all kind of embarrassments. Now, okay, this is a little kabbalistic, but when the srafim under this chayim, they start flying, it's a type of chibur. They burn that neshama. V'nisrefes ve'in nisrefes. It's sort of, it's burnt, but it's not burnt for chudim. I can't explain these things. I'm sorry. And that neshama is judged that way every day. Came showing this asker but Torah correct, since he didn't learn Torah correctly. At Kan showing it. Now the Chofetz Chaim is bringing all of this as tools for us not to be mitzgoah. To realize Okay, Tzochish Hanilvov the Spaining Bezabucholim Mechayev, a person should be thinking about this, delving, on this daily, as it says there, Shira Adam Litfais Biyode Mashalomad, a person should grab what he's learned, Kadesh Lo Yasigenu Busha Chlim Al Yamadin. The Shoshiyamu, when they get up there and they say, Amoy Darech Mikrosh Karasa. Okay, say over the Chumash you learned. Mishnah Shoshanisa, and the Mishnah that you learned. Atkan L'Shoinei. Okay, so that's gaiva. I see that tomorrow, Mr. Shem, we can talk about Yeyush,
Mhm.
whatever that means.